Hi. Following on from the video I did a couple of weeks ago showcasing my Dark Angels army, I've decided that today I'm going to show you some of the conversions I've done. But first, I'm going to show you this. This is an original pattern Landraven, which 15 minutes after I'd uploaded the video 2 weeks ago, I realised I'd forgotten to include. So I just thought I'd show you this to begin with. I got this recently off eBay. I used to have two of these, right from when I first started collecting, but they became so badly damaged they got thrown out. A decision actually I now regret. But anyway, you can see it's quite different to the current kit, and in fact I'm not even sure if Games Workshop themselves designed this or if they got somebody else to do it for them. Certainly the new kit's far better, but it's still an interesting blast from Games Workshop's past. Right, and now I've shown you that, on to the conversions. I'm going to start with some variations on the Landlander. This I call the Landlander Apocalypse. As you can see, I've replaced the double storm bolter with a demolisher cannon that I took from an Imperial Guard tank kit. This comes from the older demolisher where you've got metal parts to go on it. It's far superior to the current plastic one. And the sponsons, instead of being twin-linked las cannons, has a single las cannon with a coaxially mounted heavy bolter. Now I see this sort of vehicle as being a siege-breaking vehicle. Drive it up to an enemy barricade or fortification, use the demolisher cannon to blast through it, then open up the doors, and your troops can pile through the breach created by the demolisher cannon. Right, and next, it's often said, the Landraven is often described as a tank, and I disagree with that, because it's got troop carrying capability, which means I think it's more of an infantry fighting vehicle. So because of that, I created this. I call it the Landraven, also known as just the Raven main battle tank, and this is a tank on a Landraven chassis. It's got a scratch-built turret from plastic card, with the gun made from bits of Imperial Guard Lehman Russ, extended to turn it into a Vanquisher cannon with just a bit of plastic tubing. Coaxially, we've got an assault cannon that's taken from a Dreadnought plastic kit, and then the twin-linked heavy bolters that would have been on the top of the Landlander I've mounted on the top of the turret, which I've further detailed with some other parts cut off the top of the Landlander kit. And you'll notice here what was at the top of the Landlander I've used as mud guards above the tracks, and then simply stuck on a hatchway there to represent where the drive would be. It's creating a model that's a lot more like today's tanks, so it's probably far more high-tech than most of the Warhammer 40,000 tanks are. And now, as I'm done with the Land Raiders, I'll get on to some Predator variants. This one, quite simply, I call it the Predator Vanquisher, quite simply because I have taken a Predator and I've mounted a Vanquisher cannon on it. To do this, all I did was I used the gun mounting that's meant for the auto cannon and stuck on a bit of plastic tubing with the muzzle brake from a Lehman Russ at the end of it. So that's just a heavy tank hunting vehicle. And the second one, I call this one the Predator Firestorm, which is an anti-aircraft variant. Now for this, I took the gun mounting for the twin-linked las cannons and replaced the las cannons with the auto cannons from a Predator kit. So it's got a twin-linked anti-aircraft battery, and I built a radar system at the back from some Tau fusion blasters. Let's get in a bit closer than that so you can see it. Mounted using components from the Imperial Guard tank accessory sprue. I created that because I thought marine anti-air defences are a bit lacking, really. They've got the Whirlwind Hyperius and the Hyperius Tarantula, but I thought they needed a gun as well, so I built that. Now, back in the days of Rogue Trader, there weren't that many kits around. On one of the vehicles that was actually in the official army lists, you had to scratch build, and it was from a roll-on deodorant canister, and I've built one recently. This is the Grav Attack. It's featured in Rogue Trader, both Imperial Guard and Space Marine Army lists. Now, I've used a lot of Games Workshop parts to decorate this. The original ones that were done when Games Workshop created them, of course, used parts from all sorts of kits, a lot of Zoid models, if you've ever heard of those. I've not had to scavenge around for those. Games Workshop now produces enough that I've been able to detail this quite nicely. Now, another vehicle that was in the Rogue Trader rulebook but never appeared in any of the proper army lists, it's called the August Flyer. That was a lightweight scout aircraft, and I have created this as my modern take on the August Flyer. The original one, the model that Games Workshop had built and photographed for the Rogue Trader rulebook, looked very much like, I think the term is ornithopter, where they had wings that flapped. For this one, I've done it more like a tilt rotor, I think the V-22 Osprey that the Americans are developing is that sort of vehicle. Mounted a twin-link las cannon. I've taken missiles from the Typhoon missile launchers from the Raven Wing sprue, an assault cannon in the nose, again from the Raven Wing sprue, and I've built a cockpit, cockpit interior with just a marine torso and arms that I have spare. They used gunner arms, so it looks like he's holding onto a control column, and a spare control panel glued in at the front. And aside from that, the construction is pretty much entirely plasticard, with the insides of sellotape rings for the actual rotors on the wings. Now, finally, the model I've not done any rules for. I think there are people around who have done rules for him, though. I decided to scratch build Lionel Johnson, Primarch of the Dark Angels. Hence, he's wearing black armour because it's pre-heresy. I've used a pre-heresy pattern bolt gun taken from the old RTB-01 Space Marines. You may have spotted one or two in the last video. The limbs all come from Terminators. The main body is just a current Marine body, which has been bulked out a bit with the use of belt packs. And the sword is a Terminator Sergeant's power sword. Backpack, just a standard backpack, and the banner pole made from a piece of wire with a detail taken from the Dark Angels Veterans kit. And I've mounted him on a 40mm base because he is much bigger than a regular Marine, stands about a head taller, as a Primarch should. And that is all for today. Thanks for watching, and I shall apologise again for not getting my original pattern Land Raider in the video 2 weeks ago. Bye.